So how is it going, guys, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 video. And with Bethesda's recent announcement of their first 3 DLCs, these of course being the Automatron DLC, the Wasteland Workshop, and the Far Harbor DLC, I thought I'd go ahead and dive into a little bit more information here today about the Automatron DLC. This one, of course, is one of the first ones set to be released in March, which really isn't too far away now. And it's actually one of these smaller type of updates, or it seems to be one of these smaller type of DLCs being brought in to Fallout 4, only being priced at $10. And once again, I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit here today about some of the Fallout 3 references kind of noted down in the description Bethesda gave on this, some of the possible returning characters, and just a little bit more information about this in general. Now, to start things off, I am actually going to go ahead and take you guys back to the description that Bethesda gave of the Automatron DLC. Although we did briefly kind of talk about this in my other video, I'm going to go ahead and read that again, and then afterwards I'll go over some of the points and some of the references that kind of stand out the most. So it states, the mysterious Mechanist, which we'll come back to here shortly about the Mechanist, has unleashed a horde of evil robots into the Commonwealth, including the devious Robo-Brain. You guys may already know what the Robo-Brain is, but once again, we'll come back to that as well. Hunt them down and harvest their parts to build and mod your own custom robot companions. Choose from hundreds of mods, mixing limbs, armor abilities, and weapons like the all-new Lightning Chain Gun. Even customize their paint schemes and choose their voices. And that was the description that Bethesda gave us to do with the Automatron DLC that we know of so far. But there's a few lines in there that I do want to point out. Taken back here to the very start of the description where it states, the mysterious Mechanist. Now, this is actually a possible returning character from Fallout 3. I'll throw in my own opinion of this here shortly as well, but for those of you who played Fallout 3, you may remember a character known as the Mechanist. This was a guy who lived in the town of Canterbury Commons. He would always be dressed in his, I guess, Mechanist costume, which was a very robot-styled suit. You can see by some of the gameplay images and some gameplay as well in the background. And there was a bit of a quest in Fallout 3 that essentially was the Mechanist fighting against his nemesis, the Antagonizer. And there was a few different options that you could choose from, which we'll talk about as well. A little bit of backstory about the Mechanist from Fallout 3. He was basically raised by his father until he was 15 years of age, and then eventually his father sold him to a caravan merchant, hoping that he would have a better life. And he essentially traveled with the caravans for a few years, pretty much working as a servant, until he eventually bought his freedom and then settled down in the town of Canterbury Commons. This is essentially where you meet him in Fallout 3, and he pretty much settled down there. He was always hiding in the electronics store, kind of fiddling around with the junk inside of the electronics store, and then when the Antagonizer started showing up, he became the Mechanist to protect the town, and he basically dubs himself within the quest line, I guess, as the superhero, and the Antagonizer is the super villain. But the question is this going to be the same Mechanist that we see in Fallout 4? I believe the chances are definitely there, but at the same time, there's a few things that don't really make too much sense of it actually being the same guy. I mean, one of these is the fact that in Fallout 3, within that certain quest line, he was dubbed as the good guy or the superhero. And in Fallout 4, I guess, if it is the same guy, then he would have turned evil and unleashed a horde of evil robots out into the Commonwealth. One thing I do want to mention about that is definitely possible. I mean, there's a 10-year difference between the events of Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. So in Fallout 3, the Mechanist was 40 years old, and if he makes his way into Fallout 4, he's going to be 50 years old. So between that time, could he have possibly have turned evil and, made his way into the Commonwealth and then unleashed the horde of evil robots? Is that a possibility? In my opinion, it's definitely there. Another thing that kind of actually sways away from this again is the fact that, to my knowledge, this is just from what I remember, there was actually an option within the quest line to actually kill the Mechanist, which, if that is the case, would Bethesda really kind of sway out that option and just, bring him into Fallout 4 anyway? That's kind of more evidence, I guess, that this may potentially not be the same Mechanist. I mean, I don't know, there's a lot of information being thrown out there. I just wanted to kind of bring it to you guys, and let me see what you guys think. Do you believe that it's possibly the same Mechanist from Fallout 3? I mean, the term Mechanist in general, I guess, is a broad term that many people can dub themselves. I don't know, it's a very mysterious one. I guess the evidence kind of sways towards the fact that it may not be, but at the same time, I believe the possibility is always still there, and to definitely not throw that under the rug just yet when it comes to that. But But anyway, moving on from the Mechanist, another thing actually mentioned in the description was the Robo Brain. Funnily enough, the Robo Brain was also in Fallout 3 as well. I'll go ahead and throw up some images and some gameplay of what these actually look like from Fallout 3. A little bit of information about the Robo Brain. It pretty much moves on a tracked chassis that uses hydro processor motors to actually move with. And you can see as well by the actual top, it's pretty much a sizable cylindrical torso with a hardened glass dome on top with a brain inside of it, which I guess is where it gets its kind of Robo Brain name from. Within Fallout as well, I believe there's a bunch of different versions, from a US Army version, I believe there's like an Enclave version as well, I believe there's a Sentry version from the Point Lookout DLC as well, a bunch of different versions of the Robo Brain. But one thing I want to mention is, will it change from Fallout 3 to Fallout 4? As many of you may know, there's actually a few creatures in Fallout 4 that have changed since Fallout 3, and will the Robo Brain fall under that category, or will it look the same, just a much more updated and, of course, better looking version of it to match the Fallout 4 graphics? That's something else that I do want to kind of mention as also a possibility there as well. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section down below. And for the final thing I do want to cover in this video is this image. This was one of the only gameplay images that we've got to do with the Automatron DLC so far. We have here what seems to be one of the buildable robots on the left, as you can see there. And then on the right, which is actually what I want to point out here, is the guy seems to be wearing some very different type of armor that of course isn't actually in Fallout 4 at this current moment in time. And it looks very beefy. It looks like it would definitely be a good type of armor to get. And I just wanted to point it out real quick. It seems like new armor like that is actually making its way into Fallout. Hopefully there'll be a bunch more different types of armor and weapons as well. And just something to point out there from that image. But anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Just wanted to kind of go over, all the information about the Automatron DLC that we do know so far, kind of throwing a couple of theories there, a couple of bits of information and stuff from Fallout 3 to do with this, or possibly to do with this and stuff. And just in general, talk about it to you guys. As I've said in previous videos, I really enjoy making these information type of videos where I kind of throw in my own opinion, throw in a couple of theories here and there as well, and just give you guys as much information as I can about this subject at hand. So, as always, if you do enjoy these type of videos and do find them helpful, be sure to let me know by leaving a like down below. Your support, of course, is always greatly appreciated on the channel. Also, quick reminder, I'm hosting a Fallout 4 Season Pass giveaway. There is 10 days left until the winner is chosen, and of course, that is going to be for the winner's platform of choice as well. So, if you are interested in entering that, you'll find a link down in the description down below. That will take you over to a Gleam page where there's several different ways that you can enter to potentially increase your chances of winning the Season Pass. But anyway, once again, hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new around, and I'll catch you guys next time with a brand new video. Peace out.